Hello. I'm so happy. I'm so relieved. Oh, um, goodness. So I thought I would update. I got back at about 20 to 6 and my time. So 20 to 9, Southern Eastern time. And um, yeah, the whole thing took about an hour, and then recovery was an hour and a half. So I was like asking a million questions, and as usual, why would recovery be that long? Blah, blah, blah. Hi, music, movies, and chill. Hello. Sleuth Fairy, right? Thank you, hun, for being here. I look a fright, an absolute fright. This is what happens when your makeup is like from crying and all mashed in your face, and oh, it just sucks. But I did put a little lipstick on. Of course, I had to. But yeah, so I'm just updating because, oh my gosh, thank you for doing that. This is like, I mean, it shouldn't matter. But I survived something that could have been really, really bad. The surgeon, Yi, really seemed, thank you for saying that though, music, movies, and chill, really was talking like there's got to be some kind of blockage. So I was convinced some kind of blockage in a ventricle, something, right? But my arteries are like, what did they say? I think they said great. I think they even said perfect. There were four guys in the room, these like, I don't know, they have those blue caps on that look like they're going to do surgery, but they're not. I asked about that. Yes, I know. I know. My daughter was crying earlier on the phone. I stayed on with her before the procedure, and I said, look, this isn't a death sentence. I had to kind of remind her, and I said, she's always been worried because of the age difference, right? I was 41 when I had her, and I'm 62, you guys, and none of us ever know how soon, as we're older or get older, we're going to go through health problems of, right? Cancers, kidneys, heart, stroke. So, and then also, I was so concerned because I had that achismic thalamic stroke, the clot, the size of an M&M up here, 4 years ago. So I just thought, oh, there's going to be bad news, but there wasn't. So they literally took pictures, didn't do anything more, and said you're fine. They did it through my wrist. This is why I have this black thing on. But it was just so weird. I'm in this really cold room because they said the machinery gets hot, but they covered up my lower legs and my feet, and my top part, and they cushed up a blanket around my head and scooshed me over to the table. And there were four of them, and they're all like 40, 35, whatever, and they're really in a good mood. Let's just put it that way. Love their jobs, love to help people, feeding off each other with their joking. And then before the procedure, they turned this big radio on, and who's that song by I won't try to sing, but when the day Henley, John Henley or whatever, and the days are gone. Oh, now I can't even remember, but that do that one. Then that one. Yeah. Yeah, I am. No, I'm good. Music, movies, and chill. Thank you, hun. Very sweet. Don Henley. What did I say? John Henley? I don't even know what I said. But as I was laying there, hearing this music, God, I get emotional still. Just reminded me, right, of the 80s and early 90s and how quickly time flies by. And I'm laying there having some kind of heart procedure done. And I just started crying. One of the guys came over and said, "Are you okay, Megan?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just emotional. It's just bringing me back to my youth." So, anyway, so that song came on, and then another one. Now I can't even remember. They played four different songs, pretty loud, not rocking like some rock and roll, but Um, and they were quick and very professional, and said, "We got to pull your pants," which were my leggings, and your panties. They said down to your knees. So to help to do that, 'cause my hands were, had all the hooks, not hooks, the wires and everything in them, and you just don't care. A doctor is a doctor. But I thought they were just going to do it through my arm, but they explained that, or my wrist, that in case that doesn't work, right? They do it through the groin area. So they get the little shaver out and they tell me what they're doing, and they shave just a little area on both sides. And I'm just going to say it. I'm blunt. I'm trimmed up. I'm not waxed or anything. I've never done that. Shoot, doesn't it cost hundreds of dollars? But anyway, so that was nice that I was trimmed up at least. And so they shaved a little on both sides. And then instead of like putting a towel or something over me, I was just exposed like that for 45 minutes, which is fine, whatever. And they're like, "How are you doing?" While they're getting stuff ready. While I said, "Well, I'm pretty much half naked and I got four men standing around looking down at me." That's what I said. When I said, oh no, I said I'm half naked. The guy goes, "Yeah, you pretty much are." Anyway, but I just kind of thought, like, 'cause it was so cold in there, um, they would cover me up if they wouldn't use that area down there. But I suppose, it's got to be an instantaneous thing, right? Sticking a needle in down there if need be. And I didn't complain, I just went with it. But we were all singing to one song, and now I can't remember which one, including me. They gave me Fentan. Is that how you spell it? YL. Because I asked him. I said, "What's going into me right now?" I mean, I like to know these things, and it's good, really good to advocate for yourself. I've been like this. I'd say probably not even in my 20s, my 30s, and on. And they said that, and Edva, or not Ava, Veda or Veda, I don't know, something else. And it came through a little oxygen thing, and I don't ever remember having oxygen. It was just a little thing like that. He pulled my hair back and put the thing there, and so I asked him because I didn't know stuff was coming out of there. I thought it was a preliminary, whatever. I don't know. And I said, why am I having oxygen if this isn't like, you know, uh, as serious? And he said, "Well, this is what your uh, medicines will be coming out of." And I asked him what? He told me, and blah, blah, blah. I don't remember feeling like woozy or anything. I mean, I do feel during my colonoscopy, I felt almost more sort of gin rummy and whatever. I wasn't put out cold. Telling you right now, for those of you that are nervous about getting a colonoscopy, it's a piece of cake. And you can drink that barium or whatever it is they give you and add, what the heck is it called? Lemon, not equal, but well, maybe it is equal. Anyway, add it dry in there and you just do it. And they're so good at what they do, all these people. Yeah. Thank you, Barbara Thompson. I love you too. I love you, ladies that are here. Thank you for joining me. I am when I haven't taken a shower or anything in 2 days. When I do, my bangs will be, and I can comb and put some makeup on, my fake eyelashes, and just feel like a human again. Because I'm kind of a vain person. And when you're on YouTube, you kind of get more vain. Like you kind of just do, you know. They sound it. Oh, they, what did I say? That they sound it? Anyway, yeah, oh, professional. Yeah, you know, and quick with the things on the chat and all this. Well, um, hi, Hunter. Holding you, holding you another night. Glad you're going to be okay. That's so sweet. I look a message. It's unexpected. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. I'm again. The tone of my wrist is numb from that. On her. Muted. I'm not. I'm not muted. I'll hit the mute. There. All right. Can you hear me now? I know. I bet I had the gosh darn speaker covered. Uh, all right. Can you hear me now? All right. Think your finger covered the sound. Sometimes I'm a ditz, huh? Um, thank you for letting me know. Uh, okay. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I didn't sit there and go, oh, did I have a heart attack from a broken heart because my mom died? No, that's what it's called. It's stress related and it can be brought on by grieving. But the thing is, I was careful of that. I read about that. Your heart can literally enlarge. Um, you know, like when a husband dies and then his wife dies later, vice versa, and they're used to being around each other, you know, forever. You just hear static right now, Gramazon. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Gramazon. Can you hear now? Oh, thank you, PJ Vision. I'm glad to hear you're getting better, Tina. Stay strong. I am, and that means a lot. Thank you so so much for your kind words, and both your and Jimmy's, you know, support earlier in chat. That was really sweet. Broken heart syndrome is a real thing. Yeah, but it's so bizarre, you know. Um, yeah. So, and there's a name for you guys. It's taco Taco Sombra, or not Ambra. Tacos, I'm sure one of you know. Carol Not Twisted. And the guy that put this black thing on my wrist and taped me up like I have saran paper around my wrist. You know, maybe Dolly Vision had saran wrap around his thigh. I think he had it done through the groin. When he had, what's it called again now? The heart catheter. I guess I have pretty good veins. I lucked out. But hi, Wild Angel. Hi, Sherry. Thanks, everybody. Can you hear me okay? The speaker's on the right side. I don't think I'm going to be long. I don't want to sit here and up here and just go blah, 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 and just, but I'm so blessed. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? You don't have to take any more pictures? My veins are perfectly clear through all of them. Like it was just shocking. But because they give you blood thinners, and I'm sure PJ and Dolly, or PJ went through this with Dolly, Um, just lifting 1 pound with his hand could make this thing bleed. So for 6 days, to wear this at night so I don't bump it, or they said people get up right on the side of the bed with both hands sometimes. So I'm going to keep that on. I said, can I just keep it on 24/7 for 6 days? He said, no, you could get an infection. And I'm like, oh, great. No, angiogram isn't the word. It's tacos, 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 and then another word attached to it. And it's driving me crazy. I've asked like 4 times. Sounds like an octopus thing. Tacos, octo, something. Anyway, the guy that wrapped me up with this and put gauze and all of this um, said that it comes from Japanese name and is basically a stress-induced heart attack. And what it means is it came from Japanese or whatever, and it's the octopus or octopi, is it? More than one are caught in jars in the ocean. I mean, he's like telling me this, and I'm like, wow. Where it was referenced that they couldn't believe he thought it was actually PJ, might be rapper, possibly not sure. No, Wild Angel, that's PJ. I mean, maybe not this one time, but I think so because there was me. I think it was her from the beginning because it was right shortly after that she said, "No, it's me. Me and Jimmy wish you well." I mean, she went as far as to apologize to me for bringing on stress. I started crying. If you look at my last live, not bawling, boo-hooing, because the old Dolly Vision thing, not that. Just a real sense of gratitude, for other people taking not responsibility, but the fact that I felt like I could take responsibility because I said, I'm sorry also the stress I brought on her. I've seen through all these months that she is good for Jimmy. Um, and I say it like that because I mean she's on top of things with him, his meds and whatever. I couldn't even have chicken on my quesadilla. I'm on a heart healthy diet. I said, I'll take a quesadilla. And the nurse said, what kind of meat? And I don't even like chicken that much, but I didn't want beef. I said chicken. And they said, no, I'm sorry, you can't have that. So I had whole wheat tortillas with provolone cheese. And I'll tell you what, dipped in salsa, it was good. Then I wanted a Greek salad with feta cheese, and stuff. And couldn't have that because of the salty feta. But I got a side salad. It was really good. Had little cherry tomatoes and those thin leaves of like red lettuce, which I don't hardly ever buy. I buy romaine or head lettuce or anyway. And I mowed that down with vinaigrette. And then the nurse brought me a pudding and an extra Shasta soda. And so, yeah. So, anyway, I called the kids or my grown adult children. Octopus trap. Is that the Octopus Trap MS 0426? Yeah. I forgot the first part of the name, but it's a real name. They actually brought it up last night before I was brought over to the heart unit. I was like, oh, but I didn't think it was that. Hi, Rock's girl. Hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. They're all so incredibly sweet people, caring. But my daughter, I think I said this in the other one, I'm not quite sure. She wasn't like, oh, you're gonna die. But she was crying. She was like, Mom, I love you so much. You're all I have. Because her father isn't really in her life. And when he did peek back into her life last year and the year before, they went e-bike riding. Um, I don't know. He just didn't have very good patience with her, and she could feel that. So, thank you, Rock This Girl. Hi, Keith Utsi. Wow, it's been a long time. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. That's so sweet. Oh, I get so emotional. So emotional. But the grieving book, I read one little passage a day. I don't have like a shrine of my mom's pictures all over. I just wouldn't be able to be even like, okay. Because again, I didn't get to say goodbye, and I didn't get to see her since my daughter was 7 and she's 21. I mean, think how many years that is. And my mom didn't do FaceTime. She didn't want to. Told her about it. She's like, oh, Megan, we'll talk on the phone. She's not into that tech stuff. And as you people know, I have a flip phone. I'm not either, because sometimes the more simple stuff is easier. There it is. See, there it is. Takotsubo. Cardiomyopathy. Japanese term means octopus trap. Excellent. Thank you so much. Is it muffled now? Hi, sidekick. Yeah. So, but I didn't have cardiomyopathy, and like I said before, I had my last live. My mom had it. She didn't know. She found out she had it, and she knew her mother had it. And you can get that from uh, grieving a broken heart. Yeah. No. Hi, Lori. I don't think it's, excuse me, considered surgery. I had a heart catheter. It wasn't massively invasive, but I felt like I was in this humongous operating room with tables. And like I said earlier, radio was going, and these 4 guys in their 30s and 40s they were literally feeding off people. Well, you're from Canada and you like that kind of stuff. And oh, stop that, and da da da. And they're really laughing at each other. And it was really nice. I thanked them for being so kind and just making me feel so comfortable. They kind of knew when they were putting the things on my breasts. They're total strangers, and shaving down there and then leaving me open for the not world to see, but if they needed that area. But I was so out of it that when I slept, and maybe it was the TANYL and the AVDA or the VETA or whatever it was with it. The guy said he was Japanese, and he explained the takosubo definition, and he said, here, just pull your legs over and I'll help you get your pants up. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know they were down. Then and my panties were still down to my knees. I didn't even know. Like, it's just so weird. I mean, was I that out of it? I don't think so. But yeah, so hi, crazy train. I better take care of myself. You're darn tootin', and I'll tell you what. Of course, Parker was like, you gotta get off that YouTube. It's making you sick. And I said, well, Parker, I said, I'm never going to engage in any tit for tats. And even when there's a situation when I feel like my blood pressure could go up, like I feel someone's really being insulted or hurt or mistreated or misguided, whatever, I'm going to just say, well, you guys have a great day and bounce down if I'm on panel. And um, I mean, I can't even lift 1 pound for one day, and then or is it 2 days? I don't know. I'll get the paperwork later on. Um, so yeah, I mean, I might do a live tomorrow, and I might not. I'll just play it by ear, and if I do, it's not going to be, any kind of politics. Well, it's not allowed anyway, and I don't do that. But like Like even that fun pet peeve show, Sherry, you and I did. I'm gonna be low key. I'm gonna be low key. I could have a panel here and there, but I don't want to get all excited and ruckusy and be like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be porn bomb? I don't want to have any worries, you guys. This scared me. And each time that we stress, the cortisol, right, shoots through our body, and that causes weight gain in the abdomen. So yeah, I plan on taking care of myself. I asked him, I said, I probably can't even, well, this was before I knew I couldn't lift a pound. Before the procedure, I said, I ride my bike to the AA hall now and then, and I probably can't lift my bike up the 3 flights of stairs. And he's like, no, no, you can't lift at all. And I said, okay. So yeah, I have to be extremely careful. I mean, my daughter's gonna have to clean the litter boxes. I can't even use this hand or these fingers. And I mean, I'm bending them a little now, but I'm not even supposed to really do that too much because it can move the saran wrap that's around the. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys because I know I can. I put my sweater on. So like you stick it in and oh, and it goes on the thumb part, see? And that's where they went through my wrist. And it's fairly bruised and whatnot, but I um he said because of the blood thinner, if it bleeds at all. So then I said, well, what about one drop? He said, no, one drop's okay, but if it's bleeding, you'll know. And he said, you need to call 911. So I haven't been given the paperwork yet. I thought I was going home, but they're keeping me here, and I'm kind of glad. And I told my kids, and they're fine. And Parker had a friend on the other line, and he was listening, and now it's not Velcroing. And why is that? Oh, it has to go all the way over to the Velcro. All right. Yeah. And I told them about my finger and the stitches coming out, and they were getting embedded after 14 days of being in there, and they were supposed to be taken out at 10, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I feel like I can handle anything after my finger getting crushed and fractured. Fracture wasn't that bad, it was the cut. But my fingertips are cold right now, and this one, of course, always is. Has anybody heard from Demetrius yet? It got brought up earlier, the chat before. I'm really worried. I mean, he's only my son's age. He's like 28 or whatever he is. He has a channel, you guys. And he hasn't been on it. He moved into a new place. Um, I don't know. It's just not. I just hope he's okay because he had pneumonia 4 times. Um, yeah, he has like no capacity in one lung to breathe because of this immunodeficiency thing Demetrius has, and 60 in the other. And when he has pneumonia, it's worse. Okay, am I covering up the speaker again? All right, how's that? Okay. Yeah, I was worried too. I was like, hi, Shelby Spring Essence. Shelby Spring Essence, that's a nice name. Yeah. Um, Uh, yeah, so people were just flooding in before. Names I haven't heard since the turtle days, you know. PJ said I could come back, you know. I'm sure not up on the panel, and Jimmy doesn't even do panels, but I mentioned to her I think I'm blocked. But I also did say, and I'm very serious about it, I'm not watching true crime. It gets me worried, and that's not good. You know, other people can just read these things, or so and so's missing, or a car went off a bridge into whatever, and a teenager's missing. It puts the fear in me. I have bad dreams sometimes, and so why get my heart all up in a tizzy, right? If I don't have to. So I'm actually gonna unsubscribe or unprescribe, no, unsubscribe to People True Crime, which are little snippets of things that happen all over the world, frankly. And I read them in my email, and I'm not going to do it. Um, but that was sweet of her to say that. But I don't think anything's going to like change, you know, and all that with me going over there. And because again, I can't hear about sad stuff, scary stuff, mysterious, missing stuff. Remember? I used to really be into it. Well, hi. Hi, Three Dot Dave. Hi, Buffalo Mountain, Tennessee girl. Wow. Hi, Halloween baby. No, PJ came in my last live. Not with Jimmy, but said Jimmy sends me well wishes, and because he went through this, you know, the heart catheter, and I basically had a heart attack, and they thought it was last night, and they thought that I had blockage. So that's why they do the catheter, and I don't. I have this t- Takot Subo, but I don't have the enlarged heart. I don't have that part. Um, and it's basically stress related. It can be from grieving or someone dying, or probably stress on the internet builds up, adds up, and yeah. So yeah. Hi, Kessie Thompson. Yeah. So I've been here now for well, last night. I feel like I've been here 3 days, but it'll only be 2 nights. Right about no, 24 hours only. So I got in last night at like um, well, I was in the ambulance at like 8:45. All right, so I got here about 10. Anyway, Three Dot, I'll just say really quickly, I had pain. A distance of like this. You know, it wasn't a spot on my breast or a shoulder, one little ting zing. It was sharp pain in the middle. And even though I don't have blockage, I was having a heart attack. Isn't that crazy? And my enzymes went from 1 in half an hour up to 6,000. And then they climbed, because I heard him say it on there when they talk of the thing, to just, not just, but 6,054 or something. And then I asked them, and they said I could get up to 16,000. So, yeah. So I called my family, and they're so relieved, and they're getting along, you know, and it's really good. So, I mean, you know, I'll do a live now and then, you guys, but I'm gonna, if I'm tired or I have a small headache, you know, I was having a headache last night because the nitroglycerin that they drip into you, which is, I guess, morphine too, which I've never been on. I don't even think I was on it for my stroke, but I might have been. Um, um, Spreads all your vessels apart, right? Your head and everything. It wasn't a migraine. I just said, you know, I think I'd like a couple Tylenol. But I was up all night, absolutely exhausted. So I'm gonna go. There's so many nice shows to watch. Gosh, shout out to all the creators and you guys. For real, 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 Team Rose and I were 100%. I even felt like I could ask her for the shirt back if I sent her a $35 PayPal. But we'll talk about that in private. It's um, it's more than being sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's more than rehashing the same stuff. It's you get to a point in your heart, your mind. It's time to let things go. And it was weird because she did it right around the same time I did it. She let me come up on panel the other night. It was a wonderful time. And then I went up a second time because she thought I might want to say hi to a Peggy. Peggy's being cloned now and then, so we don't know who on earth we're talking to. But so I went up. I wasn't planning on it. And if you watch her live with Freeside on the front avatar and Stiggy, I was on that one at about the 9 hour mark or something, and I just started bawling my eyes out about my mom and apologizing to Rose, and it was very heartfelt, very real. I was almost hyperventilating, and when I got done, I felt pain, and then it wouldn't go away. So then, blood pressure was 55 over, I think it was 85, and that's not that high. Pain wouldn't go away. And it wasn't bowling me over to where I was crying, but it just wouldn't go away. I don't know, it was constant. So after 45 minutes of that, I called 911. And I told Shayan I was going to do that. And then my vitals and everything, you guys, this is what I mean. Do what they suggest. Listen to your body. They said everything's good. But then they did another test. The papers come out of the machine and they read them. And they sounded a little sketched out. Not sketched out, but to me. And I think I started crying and everything. And they were like, we would like to take you to have more tests done. And I'm like, what? Do you think I'm having a heart attack? What? I'm not having another stroke, am I? I almost want to hear the negative news, you guys, before the positive and get it over with. It's weird. And I easily could have been like, oh, I had pastrami and sauerkraut, which I never have that, you guys, and coffee, and so it's just acid reflux. No, I was having a literal heart attack. But I don't have any blockage and I don't have any damage to my heart or veins. So it's a good thing I went, huh? You think I felt like it? Grabbing my phone, grabbing my jacket, leaving the pets with my daughter and my son. They were worried sick. When Parker gets worried, he gets a little fearful and edgy and whatever. And I went. So grateful. So anyway, thanks everyone for being here. Thank you so much. And I didn't miss any names, I don't believe. Oh, there's Pink Peony. Tina's so relieved to see that you're on the mend. God is good. Continuing to pray for your full recovery. Oh, Sidekick says, I have cardiomyopathy. I'm so glad you don't have that. Not much can be done except slow down the heart. It runs in my family. Yeah, my mom found out she had it, and then her mother. And she said to me back when she had her little heart attack and stroke this past June, like whatever months ago that was, 8 months ago, or no, June to December to 9 or 10 months ago. Megan, do you have a cardiomyopathy? And I'm like, no. Did you find that out when you had your stroke? I said, I don't think I do. And my stroke was a clot in my thalamus. Yeah, so, yeah, rock this girl. And sub to the things that trigger my stress too. We can't saturate ourselves with it. I know, I am not, you know what? Dallas one, but nobody was killed, thank God. That was what? Yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. I'm not watching that stuff anymore. I'm just not. I may even start meditating or just sitting still and listening to the birds and listening to the rhythm of my heart or something. I might do that. All right. So thank you everyone again for being here. There's Relentless. Hi. I had a heart attack. But it's not. They thought there was blockage, provided pain for hours. Had to no choice listening to get the pain to go away. They brought me to a cardiac place, and then I had a heart catheter done today, just like what Dolly Vision had. But mine went through the wrist, and it's all bandaged up like a saran wrap practically. And I have what's called a stress-related heart attack. And I said, well, if it's stress-related, and I don't have any damage, and I don't have blockage, and I don't have an enlarged heart, are you sure it's a heart attack? And they said, yes, it's all the symptoms of one without the damage. So I'm very blessed. Might be muffled. Is it right now, $3? So yeah, I mean, what happened? My sweater covered it up. I'll have Sherry up again, and this isn't the end of panels and things like that. Singing. You keep covering your mic, says Vintage. I know. Can you guys hear now? I don't think I am now. Yeah, so I didn't. Oh, there's Artsy. Hi. All right. Well, I hope you guys watch back my lives and you'll understand more of what I went through. They're not real long. I think there's 3 past ones or something. Um, but it was scary because the pain wouldn't go away. I mean, people were telling me on Roses, you rest, have a glass of milk, take a hot shower. Nobody knew it was my heart. I didn't know it was my heart. But I paid attention and I did what the paramedics said. And they said that we think you should go. So I did. All right. Can you guys hear now? All right. I'm really going to go. I'm going to sleep a little more. I don't even think I'm going to watch TV. They gave me dinner. I ate that. It's all right there. And PCT is extreme. Thank you so much. Love you all. Thanks for your well wishes and beautiful emojis and thoughts and prayers. Like Jimmy said when he went through this, but his was much worse. He had stents put in, which they thought they were going to maybe have to do. And he had actual blockage in his both hearts, one fully, I believe, and the other half. That's pretty darn serious. In the whole heart, try to cut down the salt, try to cut down the cheeses and they didn't even let me have a salt. They gave me a whatever, DoorDash, is that what the salt is called? Anyway, and I couldn't even have chicken on my tortilla. So, hi. So the nurses and everyone are so fabulous and sweet and calm here, and I'll talk to you next time. It might be tomorrow to just let you know how I'm doing, or it might be the next day. Okay, bye for now. Take care of yourselves. Oops, I'm not even turning the end stream.